Good morning, everyone. We'll call a meeting to order at 9:02 a.m. this morning. In the true spirit of reconciliation, we acknowledge all those who call this land home now and for thousands of years in the past. May we respect each other and find understanding together and recognize the benefits that this land provides to all of us. Councillor Kurbis, Deputy Reeve Kurbis, won't be joining us today. He is up north and won't be joining us. And obviously, Councillor Vanderveen is no longer with the county. I just want to take a quick moment for an acknowledgement. I just wanted to congratulate and extend a big thank you to our Manager of Planning and Development, Hilary Jansen. Today will be Hilary's last meeting with Council. I just want to thank Hilary for everything she's done at the county. Hilary has been kind of that firm guiding hand for the county as far as planning and development has gone. I know in my time here, just to see what we've done, what we've accomplished, I think we are truly a leader in how we handle planning, how we look to the future, and that's squarely on your shoulders, Hilary. So thank you for everything, and best of luck with the town of Taber. Thank you. With that, we can move down to our agenda. Before you have a proposed agenda, I do believe there are a few proposed additions. So with that, are there any additions, deletions from the agenda? Warren?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would like to add 2 items from FCSS last night's meeting.
Okay. Would you like those? Sorry.
Under closed session.
Okay. So we'll put those in the closed section under FOIP section 21. Are there any others? Hilary?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So there's just an addition under closed session for disposal of municipal lands.
Okay, thank you, Hilary. So we already have those 2. We'll add an additional disposal of lands in our closed session. That would be under FOIP section 25. Are there any other additions or deletions to the agenda? If not, Mark?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to move the adoption of the agenda as amended.
Thank you, Mark. Mark has moved for the adoption of the agenda as amended. Is there any discussion? I'll call the question. Those in favor? Opposed? Is carried. Moving down, adoption of the minutes. C1. Before you have the council meeting minutes of May 15th, 2025. Are there any errors, omissions, any issues arising from the minutes? Lauren?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would move the minutes of the meeting of Thursday, May the 15th to be approved as presented.
Thank you, Lauren. Lauren has moved for the adoption of the County Council meeting minutes, May 15th, 2025, as presented. Is there any discussion? Call the question. Those in favor? Opposed? That is carried as well. We can move down then into our subdivision applications today. We have 2 subdivision applications. Item D. 1, subdivision application 2025-0-069, Penner. Good morning, Hilary. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning, Mr. Chair and Council. As mentioned, we have 2 subdivision applications for County Council acting as the subdivision authority to consider today. The first being subdivision application 2025-0-069 for Lot 1, Block 1, Plan 0210278 within the Northwest 271120 west of 4th, which is located just to the north and east of the hamlet of Iron Springs. Pull up a map for you so you can see where this is located. So County Council may recall at a previous council meeting that a bylaw was approved to rezone a portion of this title from rural agriculture to rural general industrial to allow for the future subdivision and development of this parcel for industrial purposes. This application is in line with the county subdivision criteria, and also with regards to the municipal development plan and the industrial commercial land use strategy that allows for the rezoning, subdivision, and development of lands for industrial or commercial purposes. As this specifically, this parcel is well suited as it is adjacent to a major highway in Lethbridge County, And the use that they're proposing is agriculturally related, so it'll support the agricultural community. So this subdivision is just a continuation of those previous approvals completed by County Council. And so I will let, with regards to the rest of the comments and the recommendation, I will pass it off to Steve.
Good morning. So this application is for the purposes of subdividing for industrial use. They are creating two lots here. The westerly 10.24 acre lot is, as mentioned, intended to accommodate a rural agricultural business, fertilizer related. Well, there'll be a second larger east lot there, the 22.6 acres for future industrial use. The remnant portion of the title there is used as part of the gravel operations that are there on that land, which consists of 59.68 acres. So the applicants submitted parcel layout and subdivision plan does correspond to the area that council designated to the Rural General Industrial District. As you can see on the air photo there, that the land is largely undeveloped, other than there is an existing Quonset and storage building there in the southwest, very southwest corner. The proposal is to remove that from the land. As part of this application, there will be a service road that will be required along the frontage to Highway 25. As part of the circulation here, Alberta Transportation did respond. So concurrently with the subdivision, that road will be registered on the final plan, and the applicants will need to enter into a development agreement with the county, because they'll be responsible for constructing that at their costs, at least to the easterly lot there to provide the access. As you can see, the map that Hillary's pulled up on the screen here is what Alberta Transportation has mocked up and sent back with their referral response. And they're showing there that existing direct access onto Highway 25 is going to need to be removed. So they'll have to take access entirely from the service road, which will connect out to the west to the county's road on the west side, which is Range Road 20-3. So that service road will be a 30-meter wide dedication. So as part of the application here, there was no objections or concerns received on the proposal. It does comply with the policies and the standards of the Rural General Industrial District of the county's land use bylaw. As of this date, we've heard back from all the utility companies. Since I sent out the package, we heard back from Forest. They don't require anything. The only one we haven't heard back yet is ACO. But none of them require any easements to this point. As part of the application, the landowner, the developer, will be responsible to provide the county a municipal reserve payment on the two lots they're creating there. That'd be the 32.3 acres, which at the market value of $6,000, that would be approximately $19,380 they have to pay to the county for municipal reserve. So with that, I have recommended an approval to you as outlined in the resolution there, and that would be on the basis of that municipal reserve being paid, the conditions of the taxes being paid up to date. A development agreement would be required, in particular for the to address the service road aspects and the obligations on the developer for that. The fourth condition deals with the dedication of the service road that Alberta Transportation has asked for. And as well, the applicant will have to do a soils analysis if they're doing on-site subsurface treatment on there. If they're doing a pump out or something like that as part of the business, they won't have to do that. That aspect can also be addressed through the terms of the development agreement. They've also been dealing with the county here on the development permit aspects of that very westerly lot as well, kind of going on concurrently here. So, so with those conditions as outlined, the recommendation is to approve.
Thank you, Steve. I'd open up to council for any questions you might have. Go ahead, Laura.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So is any of it still an active gravel pit?
Thank you, Councillor Hickey, through the chair. Yes, with regards to the whole title, being the Northwest and Northeast 271124, you can see there is still an active operation on the remainder of the parcels there for the sand. It's mostly like a sand, I guess, and gravel extraction operation, but yes, there is still some parts that are active that are outside of this subdivision area.
So that would have no influence up? Okay.
No, they've taken the high ground as the opportunity to subdivide out, and the rest of the area will, kind of as you can see in that air photo, will remain as part of that gravel operation, which would have approvals under Alberta Environment.
Any other questions? Go ahead, Kevin.
I'd move that application 2025-0-069 be approved subject to the conditions outlined in the draft.
Thank you, Kevin. Kevin has moved the recommendation that subdivision application 2025-0-069 be approved subject to the conditions as outlined in the draft resolution. Is there any further discussion? Call the question. Those in favor? Those opposed? That is carried. Thank you, Hillary. Thank you, Steve. Our second subdivision application for today, subdivision application 2025-0-077, Houweling. Hillary?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This next subdivision is fairly similar to the previous one in that they are requesting to subdivide out a lot that was previously rezoned to rural general industrial, and as such they are allowed under the land use bylaw and subdivision criteria to be able to subdivide that rezoned area out. This particular parcel is located within the Southwest 331021 west of the 4th, just south of on Range Road 21-4, south of the Lethbridge County operations site there, as you can see on the air photo. They wish to subdivide out the 4.31 acre title from the remainder of the title, which was 81.62 acres. So this, as I mentioned, this does comply with our subdivision criteria for a subdivision based on the zoning of that parcel. This rezoning was approved back in 2014 under Bylaw 1430. And with that, I'll pass the rest of the planning comments and the recommendation to Steve.
Yeah, this next application, similar to the first, is also for rural general industrial use, as mentioned. So the applicant is looking to subdivide the north half of the land area designated as RGI. It's to create a 4.31 acre title. The portion being subdivided includes an office building. There's a shop barn and several corral structures on that north 4.31 acre portion. And the proposed south property line, the subdivision line, will be situated between the two separate set of corral pens on the property. For the subdivision itself, then that north portion, the current developments are serviced by the rural water co-op, and they have a cistern for the sewage there. So the access to this parcel, as you can see, is provided from the West Municipal Road 21-4, and there will be access to both parcels after the subdivision. As part of this application, oddly in this area, it is an area flagged by historical resources. As of this morning, we haven't heard yet from the province. We usually try to get that clearance prior to, if we can, but we haven't heard back from them yet. So the applicant will be responsible on an approval to obtain that historical resource clearance prior to final endorsement. So it would be a proposed condition on an approval. So the subdivision does conform to the rural general industrial area and the policies for subdivision. Obviously at the 4.31 they exceed our minimum 2 acre parcel size, and all the services are contained within the parcel area being subdivided. We did have to refer it to both Alberta Transportation, even though it doesn't take direct access off the highway. It is within that 300-meter referral distance. Alberta Transportation had no concerns or objections to the proposal. It is also within kind of the outer area of the IDP boundary with the town of Picture Butte. So the town of Picture Butte is also a mandatory referral. We did not hear back any comments or objections one way or the other from the town of Picture Butte. But the subdivision itself does is deemed to conform with the policies of the IDP. It was a previously designated rural general industrial parcel at the time the county and town of Picture Butte IDP was put into place. So also with this application, the applicant would have to pay a municipal reserve payment to the county on the 4.31 acre being subdivided. That market value came in at $12,000 per acre. So based on the final plan that comes in, that'll be approximately $5,172 have to pay to the county as a condition for the MR payment. So with that, no objections or concerns were received. Since the package came out to you, we have heard back from Fortis, Telus, and the LNID. None of them have any concerns or objections to it. None of them require an easement for the utility company side. So with that, the recommendation is to approve the application as presented on the conditions that the municipal reserve is paid to the county, and then the other 5 conditions there with taxes, development agreement if needed, the final plan of survey, easement, and the 5th is that they're responsible for obtaining that Alberta historical resource clearance prior to any final endorsement of the subdivision. So on that basis, the recommendation is to approve.
Thank you, Steve. I would open up to council for any questions or discussion you might have. Mark?
Mr. Chair, I'd like to move that subdivision application number 2025-0-077 be approved, subject to the conditions as outlined in the draft resolution.
Thank you, Mark. Mark has moved the recommendation that subdivision application 2025-0-077 be approved, subject to the conditions as outlined in the draft resolution. Is there any further discussion? Call the question. Those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Hillary. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
Moving down, department reports, E1, Development and Infrastructure, EU 1.1. We have a proposed first reading, Bylaw 25-016, to redesignate a portion of the Northwest 310-22 West 4 from rural agriculture to rural general industrial. Hillary?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This bylaw rezoning application, as mentioned, is for the Northwest 310-22 West of the 4th, just on Park Lake Road, so just south of Park Lake. And they are proposing to rezone a portion of their parcel to rural general industrial. There's an existing operation on this parcel for Park Lake Welding. They've been located at this particular parcel, I believe, for the better part of a decade. They were located at the marshalling yards previously. And so they do have a valid development permit from Lethbridge County, which falls under our specialty manufacturing, that allows for the business to a certain scale to be located on this parcel. And so as such, they would like the opportunity to expand the development on the parcel, so they would need to rezone to an industrial district because it falls outside of what we could allow under the rural agricultural district. So that's the reason, I would say in a nutshell, with regards to the rezoning application itself. With regards to first reading, County Council can provide first reading, which will allow County Administration to send out the notices to the adjacent landowners and to set the public hearing, which I anticipate would be in the beginning of July. So with that, I will turn it back to you. I have recommended that first reading of Bylaw 25-016 be read for a first time.
Thank you, Hillary. I'd open it up to council for any questions or discussion. Kevin?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move that bylaw 25-016 be read a first time.
Thank you, Kevin. Kevin has moved the recommendation that bylaw 25-016 be read for a first time. Any discussion? Call the question. Those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Hillary.
Thank you.
Move down on our agendas, item E2, operations, E2.1, culvert replacement.
Yeah, we'll just have that. Okay.
Morning, Ryan.
Morning, Chair, Council. There's a deteriorating culvert located at Range Road 21-4 has been identified as a critical infrastructure issue. This 40-meter culvert functions as the primary drainage conduit for water flowing from Highway 25, Range Road 21-5, and Range Road 21-4, directing stormwater into the adjacent coulee. The structural degradation of the culvert is causing water to back up, leading to erosion along the road slopes, imposing potential risks to road integrity and public safety. Public Works has implemented temporary maintenance measures to alleviate the immediate impacts. However, these are not sustainable long-term solutions. A full culvert replacement is required to restore proper drainage functionality and protect the surrounding infrastructure. Council's consideration is requested for approval of the necessary capital investment to undertake the culvert replacement at the earliest convenience. Recommendation, Council authorize an allocation of $95,000 from the Public Works Capital Project Reserve for the replacement of the deteriorated culvert at Range Road 21-4 through directional drilling and for the completion of associated ditch remediation and slope stabilization works. Reasons for the recommendation: in the event of a culvert failure, access to the feedlot and residents south on 21-4 would be cut off, and costs would be considerably higher if it were to fail before replacement. Previous direction, typically culvert replacement is left to operational management. Further background on this: the culvert in question is located approximately 3/4 miles south of Highway 25 on Range Road 21-4. This section of roadway serves as the sole access route for multiple rural residents and significant agricultural operations, including feedlots, making uninterrupted road access essential during infrastructure work. The existing culture has deteriorated to the point where replacement is necessary to maintain proper drainage and protect road integrity and access to those residents. After evaluating multiple construction methods, it was determined that directional drilling is the most feasible and cost-effective solution. This approach allows for the installation of a new culvert with minimal disruption to road access. Alternative methods, including open trench excavation to remove and replace the culvert, were thoroughly considered but deemed unviable. Traditional excavation would have required a full road closure for up to 2 weeks, which would have severe severed access to all properties south of the culvert. Additionally, the drainage channel lies approximately 2.5 meters below the road surface, further complicating open cut replacement logistics and increasing safety concerns and cost concerns. A temporary detour around the construction site was also assessed. However, it was found to be cost prohibitive when compared to the directional drilling option. Given these constraints, directional drilling not only provides the least disruptive solution, but also ensures continued access for residents and essential agricultural operations throughout the construction period. Alternatives: council could choose not to fund the culvert replacement. The con of this, if the culvert were to fail, would cut off access to cause major safety concerns and much more costly replacement. Financial ask and request is $95,000 from reserve. And just as a note, that reserve total currently is $5,256,828.73. I have any questions?
Thank you, Ryan.
Yep.
I'd open up to council for any questions. Seeing none, how would you like to proceed? Go ahead, Lauren. Yeah, go ahead, Lauren.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So can you directional drill and still have people driving over the road?
Yes.
It's not a, oh,
Yes, we can. Yes.
okay. Didn't know that.
I have pulled up here just for reference. This is the first draft, maybe second draft mock-up that Devin had put out. And we've worked with both the landowners on both sides of what this will likely look like. We have obtained quotes from vendors to confirm what that cost is.
Go ahead, Lauren.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So I would make a motion to proceed with the culvert replacement. I'm not gonna mention the road, I already forgot what it was, for a cost of $95,000 to be taken from capital reserves.
Thank you, Lauren.
Is that correct number?
21-4.
Yeah, I mean the number of dollars.
95,000, yes.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Lauren. So Lauren has moved the recommendation that council authorize $95,000 from the Public Works Capital Project Reserve for the replacement of the culvert at Range Road 21-4 through directional drilling and for the completion of associated ditch remediation and slope stabilization. Is there any discussion? Call the question. Those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you. Council Chair, I will address the next point. It's called. Proceed.
Please.
Okay. So Alberta Land Producers has extended an invitation to Lethbridge County to sponsor the 2025 Annual General Meeting and Conference. The event will take place on November 14th to 15th, 2025 at the Coast Lethbridge Hotel and Conference Center. Recommendation from administration upon reviewing this request is that Lethbridge County approve a $500 plus GST sponsorship at the coffee sponsor level for the 2025 Alberta Land Producers AGM and Conference scheduled for November 14th to 15th, 2025 in Lethbridge. This sponsorship is recommended because it represents a meaningful yet cost-effective way for Lethbridge County to support its agriculture community. Historically, council has not previously supported the Alberta Land Producers Conference. We felt upon reviewing this with our Ag Service team that the Alberta Land Producers governed under the Marketing of Agriculture Products Act and funded through producer checkoff dollars represents over 1,700 producers province-wide, 90 producers within Lethbridge County, and contributes more than 20% of Canada's lamb and mutton market share. Their 2025 Annual General Meeting and Conference, scheduled for November 14th and 15th at the Coast Lethbridge Hotel and Conference Center, will feature speaker sessions, a producer panel moderated by Sean Haney of Real Ag Radio, a farm tour, trade fair, banquet, and networking events. Sponsorship at the coffee sponsor level of $500 plus GST includes branding and signage at coffee stations on both days of the event, as well as recognition on ALP's website and in their annual report package. Although Lethbridge County staff are unavailable to attend the event or host a booth, providing financial support at this level demonstrates the county's ongoing commitment to the agriculture sector and ensures our support is still visible and impactful within the community. Alternatives for consideration by council. The county does not sponsor the 2025 Alberta Land Producers Conference and AGM. The county provides sponsorship for this event in terms of $500.
Thank you, Ryan. I'd open up to council for any discussion. Mark?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think it's be a valuable thing for us to be involved with. The land producers are growing and they're a good organization and represent a lot of the egg producers in our region. So I would make the motion that the Lethbridge County approve $500 plus GST sponsorship at the coffee sponsor level for the 2025 Alberta Land Producers AGM and Conference scheduled for November 14th, 15th, 2025 in Lethbridge.
Thank you, Mark. Mark has moved the recommendation that Lethbridge County approve a $500 plus GST sponsorship at the coffee sponsor level for the 2025 Alberta Land Producers AGM and Conference scheduled for November 14th, 15th, 2025 in Lethbridge. Is there any discussion? Call the question. Those in favor? Those opposed? That is carried.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan.
Yep.
Thanks, Mark. Correspondence F. We have one item of correspondence from the Lethbridge, regarding the Lethbridge Coaldale 4-H Beef Club, Warner Beef Club Country Classic Show and Sale. Lethbridge 4-H Beef Club and Warner Beef Club are proud to announce the first ever joint event, the Country Classic Show and Sale taking place on June 7th, 2025 at Perlich Brothers Auction Market. This exciting collaboration between our two clubs gives members the opportunity to showcase the results of their year-long efforts while building valuable connections with fellow 4-H youth. For many, this will be their first time participating in a joint show, and it promises to be a memorable experience full of learning and growth. True to the 4-H motto, learn to do by doing. Most of the members of the Lethbridge Coaldale 4-H Beef Club are residents of the County of Lethbridge and benefited from the many opportunities growing up in the county. We are seeking sponsorship and support from local businesses and community members to help offset some of the event costs. Your contribution would go a long way in helping us provide participation hats for all youth members, awards for our overall and reserve champion, targeting $50 to $100 each, banners, ribbons, other recognition and materials, complimentary beef on a bun dinner for participants, families, buyers, and sponsors. A sponsor name will be announced multiple times during the show and displayed prominently around the show ring. Your support, no matter the size, directly contributes to the success of our youth, and helps us continue building strong, community-minded leaders through 4-H. There is no obligation to sponsor, and both clubs are deeply grateful for the ongoing encouragement and generosity received from our communities. If you're interested in sponsoring, please don't hesitate to contact one of our leaders, Kim or Tyler Daniels. Thank you for your consideration of this request and supporting the next generation of agricultural leaders. So you have that before you. As it is the 5th today and the show is on the 7th, if there is an appetite to provide any type of donation, I'd suggest that we deal with that today. If there isn't, that's fine too, but I would open it up for your consideration. Lauren?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. What are the levels? Do they have levels of, or just?
It doesn't say anything in this, Lauren, no.
I think it's important to sponsor them. I mean, they are the future. I don't know, would $300 be adequate, or should we make it more, or? I don't know what you guys think.
It just, yeah, what you do for one club to the other clubs too, so, but I'm not saying not to, but just, I'll abstain from the vote because I'm involved with it. I'm announcing the show on Saturday. So we're gonna get a shout out regardless. Just saying.
But you probably know better than us, and like, what do they need?
They're happy with anything that they can get, so $300 would be fine. Or if you wanted to do one of the champion or reserve, there's $100 for a championship. So if you sponsor the champion steer or something, that would be $100. There's different options. $300 just goes into the pool, and then it's then for the awards or whatever. But whether you just do the champion steer.
I'm comfortable with either one, so I'm not sure.
300.
I'd say 300.
Let's do 300.
300?
Yep.
Okay, I'll make that motion.
Okay, Warren moves to donate $300 to the Lethbridge Coaldale 4-H Beef Club and Warner Beef Club joint event, the Country Classic Show and Sale, June 7th. Any discussion? And that'll be from, sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Can we just amend that motion to include from the council donation
That's right.
reserve? Yeah.
Yep. Anything else? Perfect. Any discussion? Call the question. Those in favor? Those opposed? That's carried. And I believe that takes us to the end of our public meeting. Is there anything else in the public portion? If not, I would entertain a motion to enter a closed session. Morris? Morris moved to enter a closed session at 9:36 a.m. this morning. Any discussion? Call the question. Those in favor? following our closed session, we have a couple of motions coming out of our closed session. Item 1, disposal of municipal lands, FOIP Section 25, disposal of municipal lands. For item 1, Kevin?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move that the county refuse the offer that was projected for us and go with the assessed value or greater value of the land.
Okay. Any discussion? I'll call the question. Those in favor? Those opposed? That's carried. Item 2, disposal of municipal lands, FOIP Section 25. Regarding the public lot, or the, irrigation lot, I guess.
I think that was me.
Okay, go ahead, Lauren.
I would move that we rescind the sale of the lot and work to transfer it to the irrigation users group.
Thank you, Lauren. Any discussion? I'll call the question. Those in favor? Those opposed? Thank you. And for our third, disposal of municipal lands, FOIP Section 25. Mark?
I move that county advertise the land in this very question for sale as per our policy.
Thank you, Mark. Any discussion? Call the question. Those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. And if there's nothing else, entertain a motion to adjourn. Morris has moved to adjourn at 11:40 this morning. Any discussion? Call the question. Those in favor? Opposed? That's carried. Thank you, everyone.